Good morning, everyone. We're all set for the last day of the group stage fixtures. Tomorrow, it's the semi-finals, and in what can very well be a dead rubber, considering the fact that Mizoram has been eliminated from this group, but yet a very intriguing battle of the powerhouses as the two teams walk out to the center. It is Meghalaya and Nagaland, undefeated so far in the tournament, and they will lock horns to decide who's going to top this table. And Nagaland, their skipper, Limatala Ao, she won the toss and she wanted to bowl first. Was very excited, and and at the toss, or rather, she kind of made it very clear that she would want to bowl first. And there's one particular thing that she said, that she's raring to put her counterparts down in the most stunning of fashions. And the two batters, the two most destructive pillars of Meghalaya, walking out to the center. Their captain Debashmita Datta and her partner Louisa Tamang. Two juggernauts of the sport who knows very well what they are capable of and can get the all-important start to propel Meghalaya to that uproaring overture which might keep Nagaland under the pump. And truth be told, we've seen Nagaland before, and they've had their fair shares of challenges. The obvious question now is, from here, how does Nagaland go about their business, particularly against this opening pair? That is where it all flips around. That is where it all changes for them. Louisa Tamang's going to be the one taking strike. I mean, yeah, she's a very extensive striker of the ball, particularly in the power play itself. And we are up and running. First ball of the day. Hint of shape straight away, and wicketkeeper fumbles. White signal down there. The lateral movement. Limatola out, the skipper of Nagaland, into action. And does a pretty good job of bowling that quicker one. Oh, that's a beauty there. Of course, the impacts outside that leg stump. But that definitely is a crusher, an absolute crusher. And the fact that the ball's moving around both the ways kind of sets apart Limatola Ao in stunning fashion. Good comeback from Limatola. And this time, with that outward movement, the ball drifts away from Louisa Tamang. Now, this is good thinking altogether by the skipper of Nagaland. The fact that she's able to move the ball both ways here kind of tells you how good her understanding of the game is. Kind of tells you that when you are being handed over the new ball, you tend to make the most of it. Now that moved in. This is capricious bowling from the skipper of Nagaland. When the ball's got a hint of shape and it's drifting both ways, ideally as a batter, you only have that split second that will help you decide that where you are going or what's your next scope of action. First runs on the board, and it came from the bat of Louisa Tamang. Louisa is off the mark after spending a bit of time out in the centre. Full toss. Nicely clipped away by Devashmita Datta. She's a woman in form. And the first shot coming off her bat tells you that how she can completely decimate who she's up against when she's got the bat in her hands. Anything fuller, anything on the pads, and she'll not have any mercy whatsoever. That's a good looking shot, very good placement, and top timing as well. Limatola, a bit of a mixed bag over, to be honest. That's another full toss. Back-to-back full tosses to Devashmita Datta. And Devashmita retaliating in style. 2 consecutive boundaries. 1 on the pads, 1 outside the off pole. And the line from Limatola Ao has been kind of railed here. The first one swinging back in but didn't land. The second one swinging away from Devashmita but didn't land. And 2 consecutive boundaries is going to do a world of good to their confidence. And what a start this has been already from Meghalaya. Even yesterday as well, these two have propelled Meghalaya to a phenomenal overture. And they like to keep it that way. Last ball of the over. This time manages to land with outside off stump cutaway. But point has been pushed back to the fence. So this time it won't be a boundary. Just that single. 1 over done. Meghalaya 11 for 1. 11 for none rather. Apologies. Louisa Tamang, she's hit a couple of sixes in the last game. And she scored a brilliant 34 as well. So obviously it goes without saying that Louisa Tamang, she can be an absolute decimator. Make no mistake about that. Good striker of the ball. Looks like it's going to be Devashmita Datta on strike. Took a single on the last ball of the over. A couple of boundaries in that last over against the best bowler that Nagaland has to offer, Limatola Ao. And that kind of will crack open their confidence in this game. This game's coming to you live on Crick Heroes and the official YouTube channel of Sikkim Cricket Association. Rusumi Basumatari in the attack, and she'll continue over the wicket. Starts off with a full toss, and we have already seen the way Devashmita Datta treats them with utter disdain. Parks it out to the fence. Runs are flowing like an inexorable cascade out here. What a quality shot from Devashmita Datta, the captain of Meghalaya, coming alive in the boldest of fashions. Quality, caliber, control, all boxes ticked in fine fashion. And Rusumi Basumatari is under the pump. When you get struck for a boundary on the very first ball of the innings, on the very first ball of the over rather, it tends to play with your mind. That is exquisite placement. As smooth as a knife through hot butter. Devashmita Datta, she is sparkling stardust all over the mining cricket ground in wrong ball. Impeccable batting from the skipper of Meghalaya. And she is using all pockets of the ground emphatically. She's playing those shots effortlessly. Always a spectacle for the sore eyes. Rusumi Basumatari, she's kind of startled right now. Slightly fuller. And that's a copybook cover drive. No chance whatsoever, is it? The fielder, she tried everything, and that's a very good effort at the end of the day. From the likes of Monica Fawa. Monica today on the field. We'll take a look at how she went after it. Till here, it's fine. Does well. They're still awaiting the call there. Monica with a very good chase. And there does... I think that's a boundary. Yeah, she's in contact with the 4. I think it's not really convincing. Yes, a boundary has been given. A hat-trick of force for Devashmita Datta. Spare a thought for Rusumi Basumatari. She's being decimated altogether. And any bowler, where would one go with such unrivaled belligerence from Devashmita? Still over the wicket here, Rusumi. Once again, with an offer, this time backward point in place. Limatala Ao, understanding that if there's one particular area where Devashmita absolutely loves to strike, that's behind square. So backward point being brought into play and kind of moving slightly squarer than the last occasion. So good thinking there by Limatala Ao. The understanding is so good at this point in time, and that understanding as a skipper of the side is very, very important. Here's Rusumi now. A couple of balls remaining in this over. Once again, shuffled across. This time, however, fails to pierce the gap between that point and the backward point fielder. The shot was on. The idea was right. The execution slightly miscued on that occasion. Very good thinking, to be honest, from Rusumi Basumatari. Now she knows that she's got protection on that offside, and she's going to try and make the most of it. Last ball of Rusumi is over. This time on the leg side, unfortunately finds that shot mid-wicket. 2 done. And Meghalaya, they are up and roaring. 23 for none. Right, their season turner, Sariba Khan, the player of the match in the first game. She comes into the attack. And starts off with one that turned away from Louisa Tamang. Louisa, of course, she had the cut shot on her mind, and she would have loved to play that. Once again, that outward movement, that outspin there, working out wonders for Sariba Khan. A bit of a very meek question asked to the square leg umpire. And, do I have a wicket here? Looks like she doesn't. Tossed up, Louisa could have actually gone for that elevated shot over covers, decides to sit back and comfortably soak in the pressure. I mean, at least with the kind of start that Devashmita has already provided Meghalaya, I don't think there's anything for them to worry about. They can play their shots, they can take their time. Dragging the length back, Sariba Khan. Bowled it slightly quicker, nicely cut away by Louisa. The number of balls they keep on mounting here. Another beauty. Sariba, if there's one thing that she really takes pride on, that's being quicker through the air. There was another one of those quicker ones, taking the ball away from Louisa Tamang, and she's okay to dish out 5 dot balls in the mix there. And this time onto her pads, nicely carved out to the leg side, and will retain strike for herself. 3 overs done. Meghalaya are 24 for none. Sariba Khan in the attack, rather Sariba Khan's first over just came to an end. And it's Mzuzenla Longomere into the attack, and of course the last game that she played, she was absolutely brilliant, and she'd like to keep it that way, trying to replicate the head of steam that she built in that last fixture. Will be keen on creating that early bit of momentum. Flighted it out for the batter, and the ball was slightly slower through the air, so always a capricious shot to play for any batter when you're not really sure that which way the ball might just turn. So you have to take your time and just play the situation right now. Mzuzenla Longomere, I think it's very, very important that she starts getting those dot balls in play. That should be wide, drifting down the leg side. The thing with Mzuzenla is that the fact that Devashmita, the start that she has got, it's always a threat for any bowler in the mix. Makes them think twice. Loopy, and that was turning in sharply. Devashmita wanted to go after it, wanted to carve that inside out shot over covers. But the ball was slightly quicker as well, so couldn't really get the elevation that she had on her mind. That's going to be another wide. This time the arm ball going with the trajectory of the arm there. Good thinking so far from her. Change of angle for Imsa Zenla. She's going to go round the wicket here. In fact, over the wicket. After missing out the mark on a couple of occasions. She wants to change things a bit. Loopy. Driven straight to the hands of Bipila. And this is the possible trajectory that she will also try and create, trying to take the ball away from the batter. Make Devashmita reach out for the ball. Devashmita going reverse. Ball was again another quicker one there. Devashmita's early belligerence has been kind of been contained now. A couple of good overs from the spinners has done the trick for them. That was in the air for a while. However, won't carry all the way to the fielder. 4 overs done. Meghalaya are 27 for none. Sariba Khan back in the attack. Starts off with a fuller one. Louisa Tamang wanted to come down the track, but it wasn't the case there. That's a cracker. Nicely driven along the carpet. We'll find the fielder there, Sentilemla rather. The vice captain of the side, Sentilemla M. Song, will pick it up, gun it back in for another single. Sariba Khan goes without saying, obviously one of the best bowlers of the side, knows how to keep the batters silent. Not a good looking drive. Straight to Alaminla. And this is what good bowlers do. No matter the conditions, no matter the pump, you get your best foot forward. You start constricting the opposition. Moves away, opens the face of the bat. And a very gingerly push away towards that backward point fielder. 4 quick pulses. That solitary run now conceded. Sariba is going to be absolutely delighted about that. Cut away but won't find anything. All the head of steam knitted together by Devashmita Datta is kind of evaporated here. Despite that solid start in the first 2 overs, the last 3 overs has been all over the place for Meghalaya. But nonetheless, they've got wickets in hand. That's a good looking drive and a booming one along the carpet. After a long time, the chains have been rattled as Devashmita Datta parks Sariba Khan out of the fence in stunning fashion. A very still head reaching out for the pitch of the ball. And wonderful positioning, no chance whatsoever for that cover fielder as the ball hurtled away to the fence. Imsasena Longkumar into the attack for a second over. Had a very good first over, just 3 runs of it. Louisa on strike. A massive slog sweep there. Mid-wicket in place. And just keeps it down to a single. Now that's good thinking. 2 boundary riders last over of the power play. One of them at deep mid-wicket, the other at long on. None for 4 from 1.1 overs, and let's see if that kind of tends to create the difference. That was a flighted one, slightly slower through the air. The tap there from Louisa Tamang. Devashmita Datta, rather, apologies. I think Louisa now knows how to play Imsasena, but for Devashmita, it's more of a different ball game here. Devashmita loves to free her arms. The fact that Imsasena varies her pace through the air, that makes life a bit more difficult for Devashmita, because when you're trying to free your arms, you're trying to get full extension of your arms into play. You might face disappointment at times. So that is why at times you just have to contain yourself with those shorthand jabs against someone like Imsasena. With on offer, cut away. But will find the fielder there. Bowling to her field, Imsasena knows exactly what she's doing. And that's quality bowling, to be honest. Very good thinking as well. Not really giving away anything. Still a couple of balls to go. Flighted Louisa wanted to go down the ground there. However, was beaten by the flight. Gets that inside half of the bat. And that was not going to do any harm whatsoever to the bowlers, of course. This time shuffles outside that off pole there. And gently pushes it away towards that backward point. Fielder, power play done. Meghalaya are 34 for none. Good start for them. The only change that Limatola talked about at the toss, that is Mengusenuwo into the attack. Down the track there, Devashmita Datta doesn't connect. The idea was to try and go into the V there. And Mengusenuwo getting a quick high five from a skipper. Knows what was expected of her and just stuck to that. Slight width outside off pole. The ball was nipping back in, nicely driven down the ground there. Straight to the fielder. Sentilemla Msong, the vice captain of the side. Top play. However, it's going to be interesting to see how does Louisa and Devashmita respond from here on. It's been a while now that they've been out in the center. Can they come up with a bit of a solid fight back? Full toss, catching chance. Goes begging. Not the easiest of chances, to be honest. That was struck with power, kind of slapped away. It could have been trouble for Devashmita Datta. She's kind of restless now. It feels like she wants the big shots to come into play. She wants the big shots to take center stage. Another loopy ball, but with that inside turn, Debashmita was not getting the reverse sweep right. That was a premeditated shot being played by Debashmita. And it could have been a challenge out there. But thankfully for her, the ball did get enough of her bat to change direction. Down the track, a good looking drive, straight to the long off fielder. Debashmita now moves on to 28. What a knock this has been from the captain so far. He's stifled the opposition skipper in stunning fashion, but since spin has come, there has been a bit of a check in the scoring rate. Another full toss. Another hard drive down the ground from Louisa Tamang. And with this, we come to the end of the over. 7 done. Meghalaya Cricket Association, or Meghalaya, are 38 for none. Suzanne Lalongkumar to continue. Louisa Tamang, will she let the shuttles loose there? Another slower one through the air, and good batting from Louisa. Waited for the ball there and very gingerly pushed it to Sariba Khan at long off for a single. Change of angle. Over the wicket now for Suzanne. Once again, that slower one through the air, looped up. Debashmita's eyes did light up for a while, and she wanted to just go down the ground over that long on fielder. The idea was not wrong, but then she checked her shot. After that adjustment, carved away, but straight to that cover fielder. Suzanne Lalongkumar continues to knit a web of mystery around the two batters, not letting them breathe that frequently altogether. Goes deep in the crease there, cuts it straight to Limatola Ao, and she's going to be absolutely tickled with the way the two spinners have reined the opposition back in. The first 2 overs, they were already off to a flyer, and since then it has been kind of a squib while we were expecting full-blown fireworks. Flighted ball driven away by Debashmita. Another single on the cards. Looks that exhaustion now starting to creep in, and once that exhaustion creeps in, that gets very challenging for an opener when you're batting from the very beginning. I mean, it's still not pretty hot out here. It has been a very tight, a very disciplined bowling, and after a long time, a bit of an off the mark delivery, to be honest, from Suzanne. Another ball to go here. That has spun from inside the tram line. Louisa Tamang was asking for a wide. 8 done. Meghalaya are 41 for none.
The stage is set. The stakes are high. Welcome to the second NECDC Senior Women Interstate Cricket Tournament 2025. The NECDC Cup, where Northeast cricket comes alive. nestled in the heart of the Himalayas, Sikkim, a land of peace and tranquility, where nature smiles. Nagaland, where culture thrives, and every mountain tells a story. In Meghalaya, nature meets wonder, the land of clouds, rainforests, and rivers. Manipur, where the spirit of tradition and natural beauty blend to create magic. Mizoram, where the hills come alive with spirit.
Right, then we are back live. You were seeing the beauty of NECDC, all the states who are involved in this. Down the track, taking on the full. However, won't cost them much. There is long on in place. If there are two staple boundary riders that so far the teams in the tournament have resorted to, that's the long on and the long off. The moment the field opens up, these two fielders are always around, considering the fact that players, they love to play into the V, particularly in modern day cricket. Another full toss. Louisa trying to channel her power. Has only found Sariba Khan at long on. And so goes the celebration. Louisa Tamang, she was looking restless. Got an offer of trying to strike down the full toss into another galaxy. And believing in her abilities, she went down the ground. However, the kind of power, the kind of connection that she would have anticipated, that never happened. And the incoming Mengu Senubo strikes here. And as the flags of the states out here in NECDC, they fly high. What a tournament so far this has been. This is the third day and the last day of the group stage fixtures. Tomorrow we have the semi-finals. And then we have a day of a break. And we move to the grand finale, which is to be played on Saturday. So stay tuned, everyone. We are in for an absolute treat of a cricket tournament. Mengu Senubo still proving to be a massive challenge out here. Newcomer, and has been a very tough nut to crack. Oh, what a beauty there. That clipped back in sharply. Neha Hajong, she had her challenges yesterday. Doesn't really look like that she's gotten off to a very welcoming start here. When the ball's turning back in and you're playing deep in the crease, there's always a risk of losing your wicket that you're running. You got to try and counter that. And she does counter it. Comes down the track. And got completely beaten. The wicketkeeper lets go of a stumping chance. Mengu Senubo, she's creating all sorts of problem right now for Neha Hajong. A couple of balls and a couple of balls testing her in the sternest way possible. Another ball remaining in this over. An excellent over so far from Mengu Senubo. 5 runs of it and a wicket as well. How does she conclude this? The big wicket of Louisa Tamang, of course. That's going to be a massive boost. Pushed away onto the leg side. Another dot ball. An exceptional spell. Or rather, an exceptional over comes to an end. 9 done. Meghalaya are 42 for 1. Vipeni Aomi in the attack. Had a very good spell in the last game and she's going to start it off now. Devashmita Datta have been kind of silent so far. 30 of 29. Down the track, slashes it as hard as she could. Only to find Sariba Khan at long off. Another comfortable single there. Vipeni, she knows exactly what she's going to try it out. Possibly flight it as much as possible for Devashmita Datta. The reason being Devashmita is a player who loves to go aerial. Try and hit down the ground as much as possible. Try and rattle free. Try and make the most of a particular situation. Another sharp and turner there, Neha Hajong. Not really understanding what is it that she wants to make from this particular innings. She needs to have that clarity in mind. She's a very talented batter, make no mistake. It's just that she's now a bit too greedy for those boundaries. That's a very good effort out there from the mid-on fielder. Sariba Khan will come around and help her teammate Alaminla going for that full stretch dive and pushing it away, pushing it out of harm's way. Had she been beaten, that could have gone all the way to the fence. Vipeni Aomi continues her spell right now. Still 3 balls to go in this over. Comes down the track, drives it nice and fine. Devashmita. Sariba Khan, wherever she has been, the ball has kind of chased her, to be honest. And it happens, you know, in cricket, there are days where no matter where you are being stationed, the ball will keep on coming to you, and she's circling around in one of the busiest of the areas in the park. That's a long off, and the players tend to, whenever they're up against spinners and the ball is being frequently flighted, and they tend to eye for those areas. That's well played. Sariba Khan won't stand a chance this time. With outside that off ball, and that has been cut away by Neha Hajong. I was talking about how talented she is. All she needs is a bit of a booster, is a bit of a momentum, you know, when you go around to bat, and the lady luck to go your way. A bit of width on offer, the ball turning away from Neha, and all she had to do was just get behind the line of the ball, cut it away to perfection. Very well played and very well placed as well. Good power behind that shot. Once again, similar trajectory. This time, however, couldn't really create that gap for herself. Finds that point fielder. Nonetheless, a single will definitely be stolen. 10 overs done, and at the halfway mark, Meghalaya are 50 for the loss of 1. Senuo in the attack. Over the wicket. Starts off with a loopy delivery there, Neha. Now she's a lot more confident that she's gotten a boundary. And take a look at how, once again, Sariba Khan, who was at long off, the ball followed her. Now she's moved on to long on. The ball went back to her. And this is very good thinking. Just spare a thought for Sariba Khan. She's not getting a moment of rest. Wanted to be cheeky there. Devashmita Datta could have been in trouble trying to open the face of the bat. This is what happens when you get off to a fiery start. You move on to 20s in what, 4 to 5 balls, and then you suddenly don't get those runs at all. But I think her presence out in the center, that's going to play a very critical role for her team. The way she's batting, if she can just hang around till the 15th over, then she decides to let go of the shackles. Comes down the track. Very good effort out there by Limatola Ao. For sure, she saved a couple of runs there. That was struck with immense power there by Devashmita Datta. Gets a single. That turned in sharply. Neha now just trying to gauge the surface with that boundary. There has been a massive change in the body language. Loopy driven along the carpet, work to be done by the long off fielder, and she will come around. M Song now the vice captain of the team with that throw there, slightly haywire to be honest, slightly astray. Last ball of Mengasenu was over. Another flighted ball. Devashmita shuffles outside that off ball and slog sweeps it straight to Bipila. 11 done. Meghalaya now 54 for the loss of 1. Right then, spin to continue. Sentilemla Song, the vice captain of the team, gets into the attack. Projected score 90 each. I think of course Meghalaya will try and get more than 100 here. And the residents of Devashmita Datta out in the centre, that can very well play key out here if Meghalaya, they want to propel themselves forward. Comes down the track, takes it on the full. And that's gone over Sariba Khan despite a full-fledged leap there. That was very well played. The fact that Devashmita decided to come down the ground, that's not going to be a no ball. Yeah, the ball was dipping out there, so of course it could have gone below her waist as well by the time it reached the popping crease. But what a shot that from Devashmita. She moves on to 38 now. Another reverse sweep attempted. That's a very unorthodox shot, and truth be told, I think you need to get all the boxes ticked in order to execute that to the tee. And it's not easy. It might look fancy, it might look pretty good and pretty gorgeous. You go wrong even by an inch and it can be trouble for you. Overthrow is it. Neha wanted that second run. Devashmita sends her back. And very justly so, because Neha was the one who would have had to run at the danger end with the throw coming to Sentilemla Song. A good thinking there by Devashmita, the captain. With outside off pole, Karove. And again, very good running. Once again, the run starting to flow here. And the way Devashmita and Neha are reacting and responding to each other's calls, the understanding, the chemistry that we very frequently talk about, I think that's really good to watch. Goes deep in the crease, pulls it straight to Awomi. Well done. Meghalaya are 60 for 1. Mengu Senuo back in for her last over. Another shot driven down the ground. Straight to that long off fielder. Another comfortable single out there for Neha. Yeah, did well. The ball almost carried all the way to the Mengu Senuo. Looked like it could have been a catching chance. But believe me, it's kind of difficult. Another good looking drive there. Long off in place and keeps it down to just that solid free run. Goes for that aerial shot. However, the timing could have been better. Sariba Khan, one of the senior players at the side, doing pretty well. So 3 balls remaining. That has been cut away with power. Sweeper cover will come around. Good work by Aluminla. And very good running between the wickets by Devashmita and Neha. Devashmita now moves on to 42-41. And once again the captain letting the rockets fly, understanding the assignment very well and ensure the fact that the scorecard's taking full toss on offer, and that has been whacked away. Even though she couldn't place it to perfection, plays it straight to Vipila. Will only get a single on that occasion now. Not a good over. Mengu Senuo has been brilliant throughout his spell, but this over turning out to be a bit too expensive. 6 of it so far. Comes down the track, slaps it as hard as she can. Very good work by Sentilemla Msong. Taking responsibility and accountability. That's so good to watch. 13 done. Meghalaya are 67 for 1. Sentilemla Msong into the attack here. Comes down the track. Goes clobbering with all her power. And very good work by the fielder once again. Just not letting it loose there. That's the kind of urgency that you would like to see on the field out here. Down the track, takes it on the full, goes aerial. No chance with the fielder. Immaculate placement from Devashmita Datta. Moves on to 47 now. She's raining fours out here. And what a knock this has been from the skipper. Unrelenting, ruthless, merciless. That one must have popped off Sentilemla's hands out there, and Devashmita quickly reading the length of the ball, knew exactly what she had to do. And there she came down the track, dashing and gushing. Absolutely obliterating Sentilemla on that occasion. The ball turning in, nicely cut away by Devashmita. However, a fumble, trouble at the non-striker's end. And Neha Hajong will have to head back to the pavilion. She's not happy. I think both the players, this is why they say that when you're running to a misfield, it's always risky. Or has she been saved? Yeah, looks like she's safe. I think she got the bails off with her hands there and the ball popped out. So very fortunate. So very fortunate. Yes, unfortunate for Sentilem Liam Song. She clipped the bails with her hands. Yeah, nicely cut away but straight to the fielder. The idea is right. Sentilem Liam Song, still a couple of balls to go in this over. Nicely played by Devashmita Datta, doesn't really find the gap and learning her lesson. I think Neha Hajong, she must have had a heart and a mouth for a moment. She kind of knew she was gone. But then Sentilem Liam Song kind of headlong to get the bails off. Clipped them even before the ball arrived to her. Watchful there from Devashmita. And very good running as well. She'll retain the strike for herself. 14 done. Meghalaya are 73 for 1. A few lovely smiles from the Sikkim team. Got their players watching this game very closely. If Sikkim goes through, they already have a victory in their repertoire. If they can win the next game, then of course they go through as the table toppers, crashing Arunachal Pradesh out. But it's not going to be an easy battle for them. Of course, they'll have to fight with everything they've got in their repertoire. Vipila into the attack, is it? No, Vipeni Aomi rather. None for 8 in that first over. Goes on the back foot and punches it away straight to that head-off fielder. Devashmita now, she's very patient. She knows that she's got the necessary shots coming in, so she's very calm, very composed. Once again, shuffled outside that off pole, sweeps it away to perfection. What a brilliant way to bring the half century. Devashmita Datta, the captain of the team, shining brighter than the sun in the skies of Sikkim. Radiating the mining ground in Rangpo with a flurry of good-looking shots and placement. Top quality innings here from the skipper. And when your captain takes charge of the vanguard, she knows exactly what she's doing. The rest of the team follow suit. An impeccable knock so far. Hardly any mistake whatsoever. And that is exactly what you would love to see from your skipper, the leader. Once again, goes deep in the crease, cuts it away with power. Will get that single comfortably now. Devashmita moving on to 52. What a knock this has been, rife with a handful of incredible shots all around the park. If we manage to get a look at the wagon wheel of Devashmita, there has been mostly square wicket, with a couple of them behind square as well. That's another impeccable shot there from Neha. Unfortunate, we'll find Sentilem Liam Song at long off. Fails to pierce the gap there, but nonetheless that shot, it screamed intent, it screamed brilliance from Neha Hajong. Very good thinking altogether. Penny Aomi has got a couple of balls more to go. All the way to that mid-wicket fielder, not the best of efforts there by Mengu Senuvo. Needs to work on that. Another easy single which shouldn't have been there in the first place. In fact, Devashmita has refused that run. She wants to finish this over. And I think more importantly, they have now decided to stick to the fundamentals. Don't run off a misfield unless you are very sure, or unless the ball's gone to a fair bit of distance. Once again shuffles across and plays it with immense power, but straight to the fielder. And with this 15 overs done, Meghalaya are 79 for 1. A look at how Devashmita Datta has played her innings so far. She has been mighty good. The shots that have been played, the impression, the placement, the control, the balance, all of that kind of coming together, kind of blended in perfect unison to knit together a harmony of belligerence. And what a knock this has been from Devashmita. Rocking and rolling like a true rock star, the captain of the team, leading from the very front. And she's also got to a half century, thereby showing that why she's been deemed as one of the best players at the circuit out here in the NECDC. Comes down the track and whips that. Excellent work out there by the vice captain again, Sentilem Limesong. She's saved the 3 runs, in fact 2 runs for her team. Very good running between the wickets has facilitated a couple out there. Quality batting there from Devashmita Datta. Knows exactly what she's doing. Moved on to 55 or 53. That stayed low and she read it perfectly. Goes through the gates of Vipeni here. Devashmita, she'll take them all day long. She'll keep on running between the wickets. And that's the kind of fusion that you really love to witness. And you get to score those runs quickly enough, not just in fours but also in singles and doubles whenever necessary. Down the track, down the ground, and as straight as an arrow, Neha Hajong joins the party too. It's been singles and doubles that she was dealing with, and now she comes up with a clutch 4 there, relieving ample pressure from her team of getting the double trouble for the opposition in place. This has been a knock of patience, this has been a knock of class. The understanding has been so impeccable out here. 2 balls to go in this over. Once again, Neha using the depth of the trees. Was a bit too late to play that shot, but nonetheless has managed to steal a single here. Oh no, in fact, she has taken the single there. Slightly shorter, cracked away by Devashmita. And straight to Vipilia at deep mid wicket. 16 done. Meghalaya are 89 for 1. Susan Lalongkumar in for a final over. Devashmita comes down the track, rocks it straight to that long on fielder. Loopy, that's in the air. Neha might be in trouble. That's a very good catch at the end of the day. Kept her eyes on the ball, Jyoti Thapa, and she's made no mistake whatsoever. And M. Susan Lalongkumar, the vice captain of the team, finally strikes. Sent Neha Hajong packing. Was on the air for a while, didn't really get the shot all right, played against the turn, and that proved to be her unraveling. New batter coming out to the center, Dayaka Wardry. And of course, now it's going to be interesting to see how Dayaka goes about her business. The idea should be to try and hand over the strike to Devashmita. Make her play most of the balls because that tends to get her the all-important hitting zone where she would love to be in the death overs. Dayaka goes down the ground. Has she got enough gas behind the shot? Not really. Will play it straight down to Elena Muro. Now the single out there, and Dayaka off the mark straight away. Good thinking there, getting Devashmita back on strike, 58 or 56. Is there a late propulsion that she can try and get in play? You never know. Once again attempting that reverse sweep. The impact was outside that off pole there, and that is why the umpire showed no interest whatsoever in the appeal. Deems that leg by. Good shot played with the turn there. Not the kind of power that she would have been looking forward to. In fact, had she got that power, that could have been trouble. Nonetheless, 17 done. Meghalaya are 93 for 2. Sariba Khan into the attack. She's gonna go over the wicket. Full toss. Couldn't really get the power that she was looking forward to. Dayaka rather. However, gets the all-important Devashmita on strike. Knows very well that the kind of difference that someone like Devashmita can create at this particular juncture of the game. Down the track again, takes it on the full, rocks it straight to Sentilamla Msong for another comfortable single. I think the idea, the understanding between these two players, it's loud and clear that don't really go for boundary on every single ball. Try and take the singles and doubles. Keep the scorecard ticking. Another aerial hit, but straight to M Song at long off. Singles keep on coming. And a direct hit there. Might be trouble. We'll be going upstairs, I reckon. The Yaka Emigle Wardry was the one running at the difficult end. And she might have lost her wickets out. She might have lost her wicket there. Yeah, looks like she's a goner. The ball was in her hand and then she clipped the beam with that. That is going to be a point of contention, of course. Decision has been made and Neha Hajong, she had to depart. Another one bites the dust and the third wicket is trying to maximize what was possible. Oh, what a shot that! What a mighty strike from the blade of Ajima Sangma. He's picked the bones out of that one as the ball goes sailing out of the park. As to say, a blessing in disguise, and I reckon if Ajima Sangma, she can continue with shots like that, they would treat Neha's departure as a blessing in disguise. What a clinical hit there. Again, Fuller yanked away by Ajima to the long on fielder for another single. Suriba Khan, she's had a very good spell in the first two. She was the one to rein Debashmita and Louisa back in. How does Debashmita react now? Comes down the track, drives it along the carpet. There is a sweeper cover in place, or in all likelihood a wideish long off. Will only get a single. This is another brilliant over, 9 runs off it. 18 done, 104 for 3. Meghalaya. A good looking shot along the carpet there from David Smith. He's trying her best, can very well be the first batter in the second edition of NECDC Interstate Senior Women's Interstate Tournament 2025 to carry her bat throughout. That's going to be quite a feat, to be honest. Make no mistake about that. Turned away. And the umpire took a long time before calling it a wide. It had the impression that the ball might just flick in. So had to be overly cautious. Plays with the turn again. Ajima Sangma, no chance for the fielder. She was scrambling to try and drag it back in. But what an innings this has been from Ajima Sangma. She's in to make merry. And making merry she is. Stays where she is. Goes down the ground again, but this time fielder in place. Vipila guns it back in. What a strike that, the last one. And I think it's on the track, pushes it away. Good running between the wickets, and I think the running between the wickets is equally important right now. Now Debushmita Datta, what does she do? 9 balls remaining in the innings. Shuffled across, wanted to play it past that fine leg fielder. It was a very risky shot. She had the stumps along the way, so it was always going to be challenging. But at times you've got to take your challenge. 22 on the board for Vipini Awomi, or next to her name, and she'll like to do better or conclude this over on a bit of a high. Ajima Sangma, however, might have other plans, already planning to go ballistic. Are we going upstairs here? Looks like a bit of a halt out there, not really sure what is it about. Yeah, we'll have a discussion. Something up with the bails maybe. Might have been broken. Oh yes, the bail have been carved. The mouth of the bail, there, that small extension onto the left, one of them has been carved. Now it has been taken care of, and Ajima Sangma already scanning the perimeter for her favorite shots. Where are we going? Slightly shorter, pulled away. Can be trouble, fails to collect that. Debushmita wanted another run there. However, Ajima says, stay where you are. Let's not try our luck too much. 19 done, 112 for the loss of 3. Down the track comes Devashmita Datta. She's gone aerial. And immaculate placement once again. Gets her a boundary on the very first ball against Sariba Khan. It's time for payback. Sariba Khan might have been the one to pull the plug on the earlier reticence in Devashmita Datta. And now the skipper of Meghalaya is paying her back in kind of a similar coin, just with due interest. Down the track again, takes it on the full, goes inside out. A very good work there by the long off fielder. It was Bipila. And top quality running. Couple of runs stolen away by Devashmita. She moves on to 68. What a knock this has been. If she can sustain this for 4 more balls, she'll be the first batter to carry her bat throughout the tournament. Or throughout the match, Down the track again. Aerial, unfortunate however, has ended up holding out to Santilemla Imsong. And what an incredible innings from Devashmita Datta, the top run scorer of the tournament in a particular innings so far, has come to an end. Rewriting the bounds of history there, Devashmita. She'll walk back to the pavilion to an absolutely roaring ovation. Spearheading the vanguard for Meghalaya. Kind of played the shot a bit too early this time and ended up playing against the turn as the ball got into a very awkward elevation. Well, Indaria Kaur goes aerial as well. The idea is to try and get Ajima on strike, and Ajima is on strike now. 3 balls to go in this over. Where are we going with the shot? Well, a swing and a miss there for Ajima. Kind of disappointed with that. Last ball of the innings remaining. Do we have a special hit lining up? That's the question. Ajima comes down the track, has played with all the power she could conjure. And terrific work there by Santilemla Imsong. For sure have saved a couple of runs. In fact, looks like she could only save 1. 3 runs have been taken on the last ball. A brilliant finish to the innings and the top runs in an innings in the tournament there. The push kind of turned out to be a bit too hefty on that occasion. And Idobewell had to do a very hard work. Excellent running. 3 runs, 20 overs done. Meghalaya 122 for 4. When Nagaland come out to bat, they'll have to score 123, which is a massive total to try and win this game.
Yes.
A very good morning, everyone, and we are all set for the last day of group stage fixtures. And the morning game today is going to be between two juggernauts of the same group, Meghalaya and Nagaland. The captain of Meghalaya, Devashmita Datta, and the captain of Nagaland, Limatola Au. We are all set for the flip of the coin. It's time for the flip. Heads is the call. And heads it is. Well, you have won the toss. What would you like to do?
We'd like to bowl first.
Right, a victory in the first game. How's the mood in the camp?
Everyone is excited and willing to put them down.
Any changes to the team from the last game?
Yes, one change.
All the best for today's game. Devashmita, if you kindly come over. If you would have won the toss, what would you have done?
We would like to bowl first as well because the wicket looks pretty good. Slight bit of moisture would help us definitely. We would love to bowl first as well.
Any changes to the winning combination?
No, we would go with the same winning combination as.
All the best for today's game. Right, the news from the center is Nagaland has won the toss and they has decided to bowl first.
आज हो रहा था मैं देख के गया
पता नहीं मेरा इधर तो है
अभी आके देख रहा हूँ चार्ज ही नहीं हुआ
The stage is set. The stakes are high. Welcome to the second NECDC Senior Women Interstate Cricket Tournament 2025. The NECDC Cup, where Northeast cricket comes alive. Nestled in the heart of the Himalayas, Sikkim, a land of peace and tranquility, where nature smiles. Nagaland, where culture thrives, and every mountain tells a story. In Meghalaya, nature meets wonder, the land of clouds, rainforests, and rivers. Manipur, where the spirit of tradition and natural beauty blend to create magic. Mizoram, where the hills come alive with spirit, culture, and beauty. Arunachal Pradesh, where the first light of the sun kisses the land, creating a paradise for nature lovers. 6 states, 1 tournament. A clash of skill, passion, and determination. From 7th April to 12th April 2025, witness the best of women's cricket at the Sikkim Cricket Ground. Who will rise to the challenge? Who will take home the coveted trophy? Join us for an unforgettable journey.
3-2-1, Meghalaya win, win, win. I think that was the battle cry from the women in the yellow and blue. Right, the two new batters out in the center. First ball in, and it is Ajima Sangma straight away. Starts off with a Yorker. And completely beaten there. Wanted to clip that onto the leg side. Loud appeal, and I reckon that would have definitely gone down the leg side. So very good decision there. It's a big total that is needed, and goes without saying Nagaland will need some power hitting in the power play. Alameyanla and Sariba Khan, the two openers. The last player of the match for the last 8 was Sariba Khan with an impeccable knock. She's gonna go over the wicket here. Slightly slower through the air, clipped away by Alameyanla as she gets her first runs on the ball. And so does Nagaland. They get their wheels in motion. Make no mistake, Nagaland, they are a very good team, of course. Still 3 balls to go in this over. Ajima Sangma. Another slower one. And for now, the first 4 balls that Ajima has bowled, there's an impression that the ball's kind of gripping onto the surface, which will make life a lot more challenging for the batters. When there's spongy bounce, ideally as a batter, you will have to be very careful, very wary about the shots there. Sariba Khan, she skied it up. And that's a absolute dolly that's gone down. Ajima Sangma got underneath it, should have taken that. And a quick word of apology as well to her teammates there. She created that chance for herself. Another slower one through the air, and it was Sariba Khan trying to play a bit too early. That went miles up. Last ball. Comes down the track again and pushes it straight back to Ajima Sangma. 1 over done, and Nagaland are 2 for none. Sariba Khan, one of two, of course. Make no mistake, Nagaland are the joint winners of the first edition of this tournament alongside Sikkim, which kind of tells you that they have got the firepower in that shell of theirs. And this is a clash that can also be a potential final. You never know. A dress rehearsal of who's going to top out the points table. That turned in sharply. Debushmita Datta, she is asking the right set of questions there, which kind of left a bit of a challenge for the batter, trying to cut that away. Another tossed up ball turning in, and had the wicketkeeper collected that in time, this could have been a different situation altogether. It was coming straight at her. Monica Fawa, she fails to gather that. It went through her legs, and another risky run stolen away. Oh, in fact, no run was taken. Sariba still on strike. The ball stayed low there. A quick question asked by Debushmita. 3 dot balls. What a start from the captain. She was impeccable with the bat in her hands, and now she's being impressive with the ball in her hands as well. Good thinking by her. Knows that she can turn the ball in sharply. That can lead to a lot of chaos if she's able to get a wicket, particularly the big one of Sariba Khan. And she's not afraid to loop that up. That's a very good sign. When you tend to loop the ball up, you always tend to be at the receiving end of some serious risk. If the batter decides to go aerial, if she decides to go inside out. But again, they are not easy shots to play, so it's more of a compulsion that you are creating upon the batter. Oh, what a beauty there. Debushmita, loud on appeal, directed. Sariba might be in trouble here. If that LBW appeal wasn't enough, Sariba took her eyes at the ball, started running all by herself, didn't even wait for Alamienla to call. We'll take a look at what really happened. I think the height was the factor. And Sariba, she went for a post-meal saunter. Yeah, she's gone by a mile. I think it's her call. There's no point looking back at your non-striker. She was the one who decided that there was a run. There never really was a run. She just decided to run straight up. And she's not even in the frame when the direct hit occurs. Celebrations begin in the camp of Meghalaya. They've got a big wicket here. A massive one. And Sariba Khan heads back to the pavilion. Still a ball to go of Debushmita Datta's over. Is it going to be a maiden over for Debushmita? Let's see. Debushmita shifting the fielders according to her needs. It's a maiden over indeed. That's going to slide down the leg side for sure. 2 overs done. And Nagaland, they are 2 for 1. Ajima Sangma back for her second over. That's a slower one. Might have been a wicket as well. Alamienla came down the track dashing. And Monica Fawa, she has been lightning fast behind the stumps. Taken the bails off in a flash there. We are going upstairs to check. But Alamienla might have fallen agonizingly short of that popping crease. Yeah, she's gone. The bat was not grounded in time. Very good work by Monica Fawa. Another frame forward and we'll tell you the story. She's fallen short. Yes, the bails have been dislodged. The bat's in the air. And Alamienla will have to head back to the pavilion. What a massive breakthrough this is. Second wicket goes down. Trouble brewing out of proportions altogether. And Ajima Sangma gets her first wicket. Ajima Sangma to Jyoti Thapa. Slower one, nipping back in. Jyoti Thapa pushes that away. What a start this has been for Ajima Sangma. First with the bat and now with the ball. An all-round performance. Devashmita Datta, she also pulled off something similar. Pushed away comfortably by Jyoti. Straight to Louisa Tamang. Wicket ... Is this going to be a wicket maiden? That's the question. Oh, what a beauty! Yes, I think the umpire, he decides to snub it. Looks like that's an inside edge there. The ball was angling back in. An in-swinger from Ajima Sangma. What a talent this is from Meghalaya. Let's take a look out there. How did that not get out? If there was no bat to it, it definitely would have crashed onto the middle and the leg pole. But nonetheless, Ajima Sangma, she accepts the decision. She's bowling the back of the hand delivery. Very rarely would you see in women's cricket the back of the hand delivery coming into play. Still a ball to go in this over for Ajima Sangma. Change of angle. Takes it away from the right-hander and gets a maiden. A wicket maiden to be precise. 3 done. Nagaland are 2 for 2. It's well played by Santilemla and Song. And she's off the mark now. Gets that single quickly enough. Devashmita Datta had a maiden over in that first one of hers. And the ball dangerously turning back. Whenever it tends to turn in, it's always going to be a challenge for any batter. Needs to be very, very quick on her toes there. The reason being, if you're not, and the ball tends to skid on without any turn, you will always run a risk of losing your wicket with your timber exposed. That's a straighter one there from Devashmita. Good thinking altogether. Another loopy ball. Devashmita continues to be a threat. Good understanding there by Santilemla Song. She's getting behind the line of the ball. And just pushing it away. That's going to be a wide, drifting down the leg stump there. And I think with that required rate leaping up, it's going to be a challenge from here on. Another question asked, umpire declines it straight away. And a very good run stolen. 4 done. Nagaland are 6 with the loss of 2. Ajima Sangma gets into the attack. This is a good bold captaincy there from Devashmita. Well, Santilemla, she gets underneath the ball. Fields inside the 25-yard sphere. There was Long On who would come around. Good work there by Indaria Kaur. Oh, that's a quicker one, staying low, straight to the keeper. Very good understanding from Ajima Sangma. She knows that if she has to keep the batters under check, she'll have to consistently bowl in that line outside the off pole. Not really offer them anything. Shuffled across early this time, Santilemla. And she smacks it with power. No chance whatsoever for Indaria Kaur. You start to hit the ball as hard as you can. You get shots like that, kind of a highlight reel. In fact, that's the highlight. Apologies. Very well placed out there. Massive power behind that. That's a wide. Ajima Sangma missing the mark. A swing and a miss there. Quicker one. And straight to the keeper. But come back by Aljima Sangma. And quickly nipping back in sharply there, Aljima pushed away by Santilemla Msong. Another beauty there from Sangma, and good over comes to an end. 5 done. Nagaland still in trouble. 13 for the loss of 2. Ruby comes into the attack there. Into shape straight away. The ball angling back in.
कैम 5 1 मिनट हाँ ये नहीं ट्राइपॉड का प्रॉब्लम वो अभी ज़्यादा हो गया धूप आ गया ना
That was a quicker one, whizzing past the blade out there. Pushed away comfortably towards that point fielder. Nicely cut away, slight width outside off stump. However, Ruby, she's got protection. It's a very good field set there from Devashmita. Talks to her bowlers pretty frequently. That makes life a lot easier for her and for her bowlers as well. A bit of a false alarm there for Ruby. Mind games now starting to show. Another picture perfect Yorker dug out by Santilemla Msong. 7 of 13 now. Inside edge, the rub of the green going Santilemla's way. This could have been trouble had the ball gone on to kiss the timber. And that has been followed with Top Gun running by the vice captain of the team. 6 overs done. Nagaland are 16 for 2. Change in bowling. Monica Singh into the attack. Starts off with a flighted delivery. Jyoti Thapa comes down the track, hammers it straight to that. Is it straight to Ajima Sangma? Goes at mid on. Comes down the track, whacks it again to Ajima. Ajima going for the direct hit. Will miss out. Very good running again. Risky but brave. Jyoti Thapa and Sentilemla Msong, these two, they're trying to make the most of this partnership. And they know that running those singles and doubles, that's going to play a very crucial role out here in shaping the fate of this partnership. Well, that had a bit of an outward movement there from Monica. And Sentilemla Msong, she had a few questions other than yawn. Wanted to push that away. First towards the leg side, then quickly changed that shot. Got to open the face of the bat. That has been yanked away. And might just drift away as well. Very good placement there by Sentilemla Msong. Just showing what she's made of. Rocking it away in style towards that backward square leg area. Still a couple of balls to go in this over. Another loopy delivery and much control there from Sentilemla Msong. The vice captain of the team knows very well that she has got responsibilities up her shoulder and she needs to be the one to turn this around for Nagaland after a bit of that wobbly start, to be honest. Comes down the track, connects and pushes it back to Monica. 7 done. Nagaland are 21 for 2. Change in bowling. Ruby Chetri gets back. None for 3 in that first over. Pushed away comfortably but straight to the fielder. Not much movement. Devashmita Datta circling around as comfortably as she can. Goes deep in the crease there. Jyoti have to rush through. A better throw was anticipated. Lucky for her that the bowler had to drag it towards the stumps. We'll take a look there. Yeah, she is home safe and sound. Once again struck it with all the power she could. Ruby. That stayed low. Straight to the keeper. And Sentil M Song just trying to show it. She wanted to go inside out. However, wasn't the most convincing shots, to be honest. Still a couple of balls to go. Stayed low. Pulled away towards the leg side. For another comfortable single straight to the hands of Ritika Nongbet, the vice captain of Meghalaya. Last ball of the over. And it goes through. 8 done. Nagaland are 23 for the loss of 2. Monica Singh. Loopy wanted to sweep that away, doesn't get the connection, straight to the keeper. Comes down the track, wicket taking chance there. And the decision has been given on field itself. Sentil M Song realized it. That pressure was mounting and something had to give. She wanted to go down the ground. And she's completely got beaten by the line of the ball. Another wicket in Nagaland. They keep on spiraling into an endless decline. Done and dusted, miles away from the popping crease. New batter walks out to the centre. Edua Bule. Edua Bule, let's see if she can play a knock impressive enough to push Meghalaya back. Right now, Meghalaya, they are calling the shots and they are calling it emphatically well. They've been all over their counterparts and they are looking in very good touch, to be honest. Of course, they like to build from here on. This time just angling back in. Quality bowling. Is this going to be another wicket maiden that we were talking about? I think Edouard Biolay, the shot needs to be better. That's more of an attempt to try and connect with the ball. That should be drifting down the leg side. Wide signal. Could have been a wicket maiden, however, not to be now. The fact that you bowled a wide, the run would be counted in the bowler's tally. Monica Singh, brilliant numbers, 1 for 6. Very young bowler and would love to make the most of this contest. Played with very tender hands there, Edouard Biolay. Swept away. Will only be a single. And with this we come to the end of the over. 9 done. Nagaland are 25 for 3. Ruby with a very good start to this over as well. And no connection whatsoever. This match, it's crucial for Nagaland to get a bit of momentum. Devashmita. It has been her day with the ball, with the bat. She's been impressive all along. 11 done. Nagaland are 30 for the loss of 4. Ruby starts off with the dot ball there. In fact, it was a catching chance. It went up in the air and she was anticipating that she could latch onto it, but falling just short. Pushed away, however, will go straight to the fielder at cover. Still 3 balls to go in this over. Pitches it shorter in the air and in the gap as well. Vipeni Aomi. She will breathe a massive sigh of reprieve there. A timely hit which was needed. Required rate leaping up, and truth be told, an entire mountain of runs is what is needed. Oh, what a beauty there! Loopy floater into the line of the stumps, and Ruby claims the scalp of Vipeni Aomi. Number 5 goes down. Nagaland, they are stuttering like never before. As India's flag flutters high here in Sikkim. Last ball of Ruby is over to Bipila. And that's another dot ball. 12 down, 34 for 5. That's the hallowed silverware that these teams are duking it out for. We still have a decider coming up, make no mistake. That's in the air once again. Fielder was Ajima Sangma, who did cover a long ground. Monica saying 2 for 9. What a brilliant start altogether. This time opens the face of the bat and clips it away towards that short third fielder. Still 4 balls to go in this over. Bit of an edge. Short third does well, directed again. Question asked to the square leg umpire. Looks like we'll have another referral as well. Still 4 balls to go in this over for Monica. No, the batter's home, sound and safe. Still 3 balls remain in this over. Brilliant numbers for Monica. Last 3 balls of her spell as well. Loopy turned away. Just lucky. Jyoti gets her foot down in time. 7 from 21. Somebody will have to get a move on. And it looks like it is Jyoti who's trying to get the big guns out. Hoping to push away the opposition. Full toss. Clubbed away, however, deep mid wicket in place. And she'll pick it up and gun it back in. Daria Kaur. 3 runs of this over so far. Current rate 2.88, required rate 12.00. It is absolutely massive. Plays against the turn, catching chance. Was going away from her. Bit of a difficult opportunity, but nonetheless, she did come close, trying to give a third to Monica. (14 done, 39 for the loss of 5). Captain comes back into the attack. Devashmita Datta, none for 3 from 2 overs. A hint of turn still. Definitely a very good effort by the wicketkeeper, but good running between the wickets as well. Clearly made her ground. And this is the kind of intensity that we talk about.
Third umpire diche.
There you go, we'll take a look at that. Pushed away nicely. Oh, it looks close. In fact, it can be a goner as well, is it? No, the batter's home. Very good work by the wicketkeeper, but at the end of the day, Monica Fawa's valiant enterprise wouldn't bear the results that she was looking forward to. Devashmita Datta. She has been impeccable. Another one this time, eyeing for that top of off. It had a venomous movement altogether, and Monica Fawa, she just swats it aside. .40 for 5 so far. Required rate 12.45. Current run rate 3.00. Need 83 runs in 40 balls round the wicket there. Oh, what a beauty! And somehow the timber stays intact. Spare a thought for Devashmita. This might have gone all the way for a boundary, but that possibly is an absolute peach or jaffa that was unplayable from the word go itself. Turning through the gates and missing out the wickets. But Devashmita, she should take pride on the ball. What a lovely in-turner that height coming to the assistance of Bipila. Another loopy one, this time plays with the turn there. However, deep mid-wicket win place. It's nothing more than a single. Still 2 balls to go in this over. Pushed away. Last ball of the spell. Let's see how does Devashmita concludes it. In-turner once again. And the classic off-break working out wonders for this captain of Nagaland, of Meghalaya. 14 done. Nagaland are 45 for 5. Jyoti Thapa on strike, and India record has been brought into the attack for the first time. Claimed 3 wickets yesterday. He'll start off with a single against Bipila. .77 runs needed from 35 balls. Not the easiest of tasks, to be honest. All the way towards the leg side. Fails to collect that at one go. And by the time she could pick it up neatly enough, Jyoti and Bipila, they've already set sails for that all-important single. And they ensured the fact that they completed the run. 48 for 5 now. And of course, Nagaland 49 now. 15 done. Current run rate 3.27, required 14.80. The Yaka Emigle Wardtree in the attack here. That was wide. Another loud question asked. The umpire has signaled that for sure. But are we going upstairs? That's the question. Looks like we are. Yeah, she's back. Yes, no problems whatsoever. I think, as they say, that you need to have a bit of a boot behind the wickets, behind the popping crease. And that has definitely happened. Clipped away for another comfortable single. .72 runs needed from 29 balls. It's a massive gap. It's not that it's impossible, but it's mighty challenging. Goes aerial over that cover fielder. Very good work by Louisa Tamang, who went all the way from mid-off to keep it down. Once again with outside off pole. Cut away. Direct hit. Could have been trouble at the non-striker's end there. They were dashing, but yes. At the end of the day, it's going to be a dot ball. Comes down the track. Oh, this can be agonizing. Looks like it struck Ankita Sharma on her forehead. Not the most heartwarming spectacle, to be honest. She'll need medical treatment straight off. A cricket ball strikes you like a bullet, and particularly when it has been struck so hard. Yeah, instantly everyone rushed out to Ankita. Yeah, I think took her a bit longer to react, and she didn't have her hand in time either, her hand up in time, and that's what led to the problem. Let's just hope that she's okay. two batters. I think this has been a fighting knock so far for Nagaland. Not the easiest of outings, of course. Leaka Emegle Watry, of course she was expecting a wicket. Push down the ground. Can we trouble the collection once again being the issue? Had the collection been in place, then it could definitely have been another wicket that we were looking at. Last ball of Dayaka's over. Good looking Yorker. Push down the ground. And that will run away for a boundary. Initially it looked like it should be cut down. But the placement of the shot was so good from Dayaka. And there was no way fielders were getting behind it. A welcome boundary and a massive sigh of reprieve as well. 16 done. Nagaland 46 for the loss of 5. 67 needed in 24. Second Cricket Association, the flag flying mighty high in the sky. Shuffled across, played behind square. And very good work once again. It's Debashmita Datta. There's nothing wrong that she can do today. What a player she has been. And everyone from Meghalaya coming around, circling around that 22 yards. Absolutely terrific stuff. There you go. Debashmita, what a player, what an absolute display of exemplary leadership. Gone through the hands, of course, and that will be another boundary. Jyoti Thapa, she's been around for a while now. And she's starting to fathom the surface a lot better. Playing those shots incredibly well. Gets another boundary for herself. 60 needed of 22, as mentioned before. Not entirely impossible yet. Comes down the track. Jyoti goes over. That mid-wicket fielder will get a comfortable single for sure. Eight runs of this over so far. Wanted to cut it as hard as she could. More of a shorthand jab down the ground. Unfortunately, could only find the fielder. That has been played miles in the air, and let the celebrations roll as Ruby Chetri takes a blinder of a catch. Indaria Kaur gets her first wicket of the day, and Vipila's shot stay in the centre comes to an end. Let the celebrations take centre stage as another one bites the dust for Nagaland. New batter out in the center, Limatola Au, the captain, was impressive with the ball in her hands, and now she'll have to deliver with the bat. .59 needed in from 19 balls. Not one of those easy numbers that you would talk about. Another loud appeal, looks like drifting down the leg side. 17 overs gone. Nagaland are 64 for 6. Nia Hajong comes into the attack. Nia was impressive with the bat, played that crucial partnership with Devashmita. Fuller, and straight into the hands of the fielder. What a catch by Louisa Tamang. And Neha strikes on the very first ball. Jyoti Thapa, who played a warring knock of 21 from 35, will have to head back to the pavilion. Nothing much that she could have done. And Nagaland loses their 7th. New batter in, Brusumi Basumatari. Another loud ask. In all likelihood, the impact was outside that leg pole. The idea of the shot was on for sure, but it wasn't enough. Nia Hajong with a brilliant start. Rusumi Basumatari. That has been edged and will drift away. A very good effort there from Devashmita Datta. But then she was miles away. All the hard work done has gone begging. There you go. It did take flight a long time. It wasn't enough. Not a single. 5 runs of the first 4 balls. Still a couple of balls to go in this over. Comes down the track, goes inside out, Limatola out. However, will find the fielder. It was Monica Singh circling around there. Just that single. 70 for the loss of 7. Still a couple of overs to go. Inside edge. And Risumi Basumatari is going to be lucky. 18 done. Nagaland are 70 for 7. Devashmita Datta, she'll be bowling her final over. Well, once again, that in-turner there has been pushed away. We'll have to take a look at the umpire. What is the call there? It's definitely going to be a boundary. Looks like it's of the bat itself. Did it really look like it was off the bat? For a moment it felt like it must have clipped the thigh pads along the way. Comes down the track and the wicket-keeper makes a hash of affairs. Lima Tolahau. She was quick to get back though. Captain, of course, senior player, knows how to turn things around as much as possible. Yeah, kind of popped back. Still 4 balls to go in this over. Around the wicket now, Devashmita trying to change the angle there. Wants that quick run. However, straight to the keeper. Nicely played behind square again, and that will be another boundary for Risumi Basumatari. She ran for dear life, of course. Devashmita Datta under the pump now. But I think with the match already pocketed, required rate shooting through. Still a couple of balls remain in this over. That's going to be a wide, drifting down the leg stump. .43 needed from 8 balls. Angling back in. And nicely cut away by Risumi Basumatari. Impeccable timing. When a shot like this takes center stage, it's always going to be immaculate. Top quality hit altogether. And the ball races away to the fence. Pushed on to the leg side. And a very fiery body language there from Louisa Damang. Picks it back up. And simply wanted to gun it back in. .19 done. Nagaland are 84 for 7. Mahjong into the attack, and Limatola Ao, she's running hard between the wickets. Somehow or the other, it feels like Nagaland might have missed a trick. .37 runs needed from 5 balls. Well, that's another flighted ball. Can be trouble. No, directed. Terrific work out there. We'll have to go upstairs now. A throw at the striker's end as well. This is absolutely sensational fielding there from Meghalaya. An overall performance, they say.
Third umpire.
Now let's take a look at, did we get a run out at even one end? But what a valiant enterprise. That was at the non-striker's end.
Cam 2 के side में
In fact,
appeal हुआ है.
it looks like the run out has happened here first, so the one at the striker's end won't matter. Rusumi Basumatari will have to head back to the pavilion. 37 runs needed from 5 balls. At the other end, though, it wasn't a run out, but nonetheless, Rusumi Basumatari will have to depart for 13 from 7. A good knock. 37 needed from 4 now.
ड्रोन रेडी है?
Imsuzen Lalonkumer at the non-striker's end. It's going to be the captain out there. No, it's going to be Imsuzen La, who will take strike. Looks like Limatola is going to be the one on strike. Limatola goes aerial, and this time the field was inside the 25-yard sphere. That ball will roll away to the fence. Another welcome boundary. Of course, it's not going to win them the game, but it definitely will get them where they want to be. A couple of bounces to the fence. Pushed away. Another run out chance, is it? Just over. Second run is what Mzuzanla would have wanted. Goes down to ground. Mzuzanla. Should be nothing more than a single out here. 32, 31 needed in one ball. And Nagaland will be facing the first defeat of this tournament. Last ball of this over. Comes down the track, plays it well. And Limatola Ao, she will stay unbeaten towards the end. Or is it? Is it? No, not really. Not really. I spoke a bit too soon there. Limatola Ao has fallen short of a wicket, has fallen short of a crease, and she'll head back to the pavilion, being run out on the last ball as Nagaland loses their 9th and a monumental victory. A 29-run win there for Meghalaya as they stay unbeaten heading into the semi-finals. Nagaland will finish as the second team from the group to qualify. And with this, we come to the end of the first match. We'll see you shortly in the second.
खेल लेना तो थोड़ा मेरा आज कल वो छड़ा ना ऊपर बहुत बार वो कैमरा में कल छड़ा ना बहुत बार सीढ़ी से ऊपर उधर दो बार इधर 3-4 बार ये देखो ना क्योंकि ये रॉड इधर प्रेशर करता है ना तब होता है मेरा।
ठीक है मैं कर दूँगा अगर तेरा अगर एंट्री होगा तो
नहीं वो प्राइस के रहेगा ना
रिकॉर्ड ये लग जाएगा
रिकॉर्ड भी कर लो एक ही क्लिप में करना क्यों एक ही क्लिप में करना क्या है वही सिर्फ बुलाया
Thank you everyone for being here once again, being a part of this post-match presentation. It was a brilliant match and eventually it was Meghalaya who went on to emerge victorious over Nagaland to finish as the table toppers in their particular group.